What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got another major people leaving studios. You know, we just did this, yesterday on the channel. We talked about the Days Gone, right? The two pretty much heads of Sony Bend, or formerly Bend Studio. I like saying Bend Studio, but I know it's called Sony Bend. And that's a huge deal. We'll have to see again, like I said in that video yesterday, how that impacts Days Gone. And then, you know, not to be overshadowed, we have this happening. Now, you know, my God, I'm really bad with names. I'm bad with American names, or just names. I'm bad with names that are very easy to pronounce. So there's no way I'm going to be able to get all these. So I may only say last names. So we have Toyama, who was the creator, or one of the creators, I think, of Silent Hill, but the creator of Gravity Rush and Forbidden Siren. Now, Silent Hill should jump out at you, and Gravity Rush, specifically to me, jumps out at me. That's something we're going to be talking about throughout this video. He's also joined by, oh my God, Sato, who is a producer for The Last Guardian, as well as lead game designer on Puppeteer. I adored Puppeteer. If you guys didn't play that game, it sold pathetically when it came out, but my God, what a game. That truly was. I'm not kidding you guys. That was an amazing game. And then somebody else, Junya Okura, who also worked on the Gravity Rush series. Together, they have formed a new game studio. Now, firstly, congrats to them. I don't think, you know, even with the guys leaving Days Gone, you know, it's not like I'm anti them, and I made sure to say that even on Twitter. It's like, it's sad, but I mean, I wish them all the best going forward. I hope they make some amazing games, or in the case of one of the guys who left Days Gone, he's doing, like, painting and stuff like that. Like, have fun on your retirement, basically, right? So it's like, you guys have done an amazing job, and I wish you all the best going forward. This is a tough, you know, blow, though, because, like, well, number one, it literally happened like a day after we heard about like the main thing about it. Now, again, one of the Days Gone people, they left a year ago. Now, Jeff Ross is leaving this week, so we just heard about that, and the other guy, he confirmed that he has been gone for a long time. So these guys are gone. We get to hear that, and then literally a day or two later, these guys are big deals. Now, they worked in Sony Japan Studio. Japan Studio, they help with games. They make their own games. They're an incredible team. They're a big team. They normally work on more than one thing at a time. They were behind Gravity Rush. And this guy, you know, Toyama was behind Gravity Rush. And, you know, even on this article on Push Square, they were saying that people online are getting a little, like, not sad, but they're getting a little scared about the potential for a Silent Hill thing. I would not be, you know, I don't think that's, I guess I wouldn't say it's not a big deal. It is a big deal, but I wouldn't say it's going to stop that from happening. Now, the rumors are, again, remember, they brought people in from Team Silent to help work on the Silent Hill game. I believe it was being made, or is being made, at the Japan studio, the Sony Japan, and it's being licensed out from Konami. So Sony, again, is giving Konami money. They're saying, can we use this license, this IP for Silent Hill? They're saying yes. They're giving them some of the money. They're making it PlayStation exclusive. And I think some of the sales, money is going to go back to Konami as well. Okay, I think that's the deal. So is it possible he was helping them with Silent Hill and now he's leaving? Yeah. So, I mean, that will probably suck. But in reality, Silent Hill should most likely be, if it's been worked on for as long as people think it has, it's definitely in like the second half or even later than that of development. So I don't know if it would crush the game by him leaving. To me, the biggest thing here is what the title says. It's about Gravity Rush. This is the guy who made Gravity Rush. He created it. I adore so much. So, I mean, thinking about it almost, it doesn't almost. It makes me sad because I loved Gravity Rush 1, and I adored. There's so many underappreciated games on the PS3, on the PS4. Gravity Rush 2 and Gravity Rush, I guess, are both some of the most underappreciated games of all time. I love Gravity Rush 2. And remember, when Gravity Rush 2 came out, well, it didn't sell very well. Okay, that's the first thing you should probably know. And secondly, he said that there wouldn't be a Gravity Rush 3 on current gen. They were going to wait until next gen, and then if they were going to do it, they would do it then. So he was basically saying, we're not doing Gravity Rush 3 until the PS5, you know, if at all. But I was holding out hope. Now, the deal is, there's even like a studio documentary or something, like a very small clip of like them in the new studio. I guess there's concept art of their new game. So, I mean, they'll make a new game. It'll probably be really good. When you have people that were behind, again, games like Gravity Rush and Last Guardian was iffy, but Gravity Rush, Last Guardian, Puppeteer, when you have these kind of people together in a room making a game, I mean, you're probably going to make some pretty cool stuff, okay? So I'm not worried about what they make. The issue is I think that probably kills Gravity Rush 3. He's the creator. I really don't see how anybody else would. I mean, obviously people can do it. The thing is, number one, I really wouldn't feel comfortable unless he did it, okay? And number two, it's a game that was, while I love it so much, it is a very small game. And I mean, technically not really, because it took me like 35, 40 hours to beat. Like, if you do everything, it's a massive game. But its sales were so small. So small. So it's like, it's not really a thing that I think anybody else would even want to do, or Sony would even push and say, like, hey, we need like all hands on deck. Let's find, let's have like a questionnaire with like 30 people and like figure out which studio should take this game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there would be an extensive search, because it's like, I don't really think the game kind of merits that in terms of how small it is. Really, I think Toyama would have been like the driving force behind getting us a third game. And now that he's gone, I feel like it's kind of, I feel like, number one, Sony wouldn't want to do it with Sony Japan, or really anybody else that kind of just let that franchise go away. And number two, the issue is they can't make it on their own. That's the biggest thing, because people were asking even on Twitter, like, hey, what does that mean for Gravity Rush 3 and all that? And it's like, well, Sony owns those rights. So unless so these guys are I mean, they could do it. It's not impossible. In fact, thinking about it, it's like, well, if they wanted to do something kind of experimental, they could do this. Because really what happened is, again, they have their own studio. Sony has the Japan studio. Some people from there left, and they created their own independent studio. Primarily, I would probably say, to not be, constricted under Sony. Not that Sony is really all that constrictive, but, if you want the ability to be able to create anything that you want, well, you make your own studio, right? So they did that. So, well, number one, did they do that because they don't even want to make future? They're like, well, we want to make our own things. We're kind of even going to forget about the franchises we've done in the past. That's an option. But number two, it's like, well, if Sony wants, they could say, all right, well, you're an independent studio. We will license you out. We will pay you however much money. Make us Gravity Rush 3 and make it exclusive. But the thing is, they left Sony to make their own stuff, probably so they can make it for anybody. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Kojima thing, but I would say probably smaller, because there's not a lot of eyes on this one, where it's like Kojima leaves Konami. Yes, I would love Sony to buy him. Yes, I think maybe it's possible even. But like, if you're Hideo Kojima, do you want to get bought again? Do you want to be under contract again? Now, he did make Death Stranding, which was a PlayStation. So he left Konami, which he was constricted under, and then went to his own studio, but then he, in a way, was constricted that his game could only release on one console. Now, then he brought it to PC. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, well, he left. Maybe he doesn't want to be, constrained by somebody or under contract, but then he did it anyway with Sony. So it's possible if Sony has good relationships with these guys, the heads of this team, they leave. Yes, they want to do their own thing, and they can. They can make as many games as they want. You know what I mean? And even Toyama said, like, he hopes to make games for years and years and years, right? He's not stopping. So it's like, okay, well, Sony, if you just go to them and say, hey, Japan Studio can now make what we want. We don't need to give them Gravity Rush 3. Do you guys want Gravity Rush 3? And you can do it, right? And you're the makers of it, so I think it would be the best case scenario. So it's definitely possible. I would like to see it in the future. Do I think Sony cares all that much? I don't know. I mean, I feel like the people that we know that are in charge of Sony, that go around to these studios and talk, I mean, they know their stuff. They know their games. They know what people are good at. So, I mean, it's not impossible that they've thought, like, hey, this kind of opens up a potential Gravity Rush 3 option. So, kind of funny, because I started this video probably being very, very negative. I still do think, in terms of a future of Gravity Rush, it's not looking all that amazing, but it's not, I would say, doomed. I think it's definitely possible. All it takes is Sony going there and saying, here you go, like, make this game. But it has to be Sony, because Sony has that IP. They can't just make it on their own. Sony needs to kind of, initiate it, right? So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? I know the internet was kind of focused on the Silent Hill part. So do you think this affects the Silent Hill reboot? Do you think this affects the Gravity Rush 3? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.